My name is Armando Navarrete. I've been doing this as an animal control officer for the last 27 years for the City of Los Angeles Department of Animal Services. And I started the SMART team back in 2008. It got approved in 2009, and we've been doing it until current date right now, 2024. I've had animals all my life, dogs, cats, ducks, turtles, you name it. We had a zoo at our house. So ever since 1997, I've been doing what I consider my dream job. The purpose of the SMART team was to train officers to do the calls beyond what a regular officer could do. The regular officers are limited in equipment and training and the knowledge of how to rescue animals that are actually in peril, stuck, trapped, wherever, up, down, below, across, water, you name it. We wanted to emulate a search and rescue team for humans, but with animals. We rescue large and small, domestic and wild, owned or stray. We don't discriminate on any type of animal, and we rescue from baby squirrels to 2,000-pound pregnant cows. It's really easy for any animal, not just the domestic, but also the wild, to get trapped and stuck into some really peculiar situations where the regular officer cannot safely get into the area to save them. Before I started in this department, I was a rock climber along with some other people that I met in the department. And that's what kind of sparked the interest for climbing, because we would get a lot of cat and tree calls. And believe it or not, the fire department does not do those calls. And it was a service that I felt that we had to provide. So climbing was one of the first things we started doing, and we still do. Almost 80% of our calls are at high elevations. Everybody always says you can't save them all. It's survival of the fittest. But that's never been what I ever want to hear from anybody on my team, because we have to try. We have to always try no matter what. Kittens and kits, baby raccoons, are notorious for getting stuck in between walls of buildings. They'll wander off and then they'll fall in between the 2x4s of the buildings. So when we get to the call, we hear crying, but sounds are very deceiving. It sounds like it's here, but it's actually over there. And we make a hole to insert a small camera to see if that's what we're looking for. And once we do, then we are able to either make a hole or go for the top and what we call fishing them out. Those two cats, I think one we were able to fish out with the pole from the top. The other one was too deep in, so we had to then make a hole at the bottom and then we pull them out. We're in charge of now getting them to a rescue, like kid rescue, so they can foster them and take care of them for us. We had a call early this year for a cat who ended up in this abandoned building that was at least 14 stories. We gained access to the abandoned part to a hallway that the floor was missing slabs of cement, and now try to get it into a confined area where we can net it. Luckily that room was, all the walls were intact and the floor, so we were able to net the animal and get the cat out safely. That's one of the ones that went to Kid and Rescue. We received a call for a cat on a slanted rooftop or ledge, and of course the picture didn't do it justice. So we thought, it's 2 stories up, 20 feet, the jump wouldn't kill the animal, we could get hurt, so we had to develop a way to get up there safely and either use ropes and ladder or all the above to get to where we needed to. When we got to the call, this cat was perched on beyond a 45-degree incline, and the fall wasn't 20 feet, it was almost 40 feet. So we had to work quickly and efficient and safely because we couldn't even get on that wall. So we had to put a ladder up, then we had to put someone over the railing on a harness secured, and then we had to put someone down below, so if the animal came tumbling down, we had to be with a net trying to get him. When we got to the cat, of course, he's terrified. We had to then use a long catch pole to reach him at the end, grab him around the body, and then maneuver this long net with a 10-pound animal so that we can then carry him downstairs and get him to medical treatment. We always say there's 3 to 4 parts to every rescue. 1 is getting there on time before the animal expires. 2 is being able to assess it and say, can we do this? And to this day, we've never walked away from something and said we can't. And the other part is, okay, once we've rescued it, if it doesn't have an owner, where does it go? The shelter system is completely overcrowded with animals, so we rely on rescue organizations like Kid and Rescue to plead our case with them and tell them this is what happened, it's a sad story, but we were able to make it a good story. How can we make this a really good, happy ending for this animal's life? And that's where Kid and Rescue comes in, because every time I or someone I put in charge of calling, they've always taken the animal immediately so that it's out of the shelter system and it's getting, care, and it's probably being fostered almost immediately. And make it kind of a good rescue story all around from beginning to end.